So I deposited $40,000 in the account, and now we just did $6,000 today just trading oil. And the crazy part about this is I actually posted this in my story too, where I mentioned the setup. This was the before. I was letting pretty much everybody know, like, this is the trade to get in before it, and then this is the play after it. And then I also posted inside of my Discord community about the sell position as well, so you guys see that. And then boom, that shit ended up dropping and bagging $6,000 in that total trade. That's pretty much the game plan that I had with oil when it came to trading the day. I was actually looking to get in a buy and a sell position at the same time, just because of the structure and the current conditions that market was at. You know, I kind of want to talk about it a little bit and talk about it a lot. Like, my main focus is I like to lock in on a lot of oil trades, and mainly really oil. I look at oil like gold, but way more calm in my eyes. And I used to be a gold trader, but now after switching over from gold to oil, yes, it's a lot slower, but the smoothness on that shit, like, if you just stay consistent with it and just be smooth, your profits can go up way much more overall than like gold. You do get a lot of crazy big ass spikes. Like, that's just definitely what gold is known for. But if you patient and you cool and you calm and you got time, why not get into gold? So I want to show you like my whole play that I had before getting in the market, and kind of how my mental was and how I handle these trades, and how you guys can do the exact same thing with oil as well. So let's do it. All right, so during the time of this trade, we were located in this area right here, and the first thing I always like to start off with is looking at a 15, 1 hour, and sometimes the 4 hour, just because I already knew off the 4 hour scale, we were in a range. And one way to identify how you can spot a range is simply seeing if you either have equal highs or equal lows in the same area. So something like this right here, where you get equal high, equal low, and then you get another equal high. So you basically have two equal highs hitting that same top. And then coming down, you also try to get two lows hitting that same, or 2 points hitting the same low. And that's where we like to call out and call it a range. And then if I see that, that is like another signal, what I like to call liquidity phase, where market will want to actually try to tap both areas first, or either do the first one by going up or vice versa. But before it actually like does this big play, a lot of traders will see this as like a break and retest. I'm like, nah, man, we gotta actually head down and actually drop before we actually decide to play the bigger play, which could still drop if it does do that. You know, that's still a thing, but that just really depends. Essentially, that's what I seen, and I wasn't interested in like any crazy trends like you're seeing here or anything like that. And we're in the 4 hour too, so seeing that we were already in range, that kind of identify that. Now, one other thing, when I noticed that market was in a internal downtrend, which is inside of the range that we're in now off the 15-minute time frame, I seen that we had what we call equal highs, and this is liquidity that markets still haven't grabbed at the time. In my mind, I'm like, all right, if we still have liquidity that market wants to grab, because the thing is, we had this liquidity and we grabbed it with this long tail wick. So my mindset is, all right, two things need to happen. One, we need a pullback, and that pullback did happen based off of this, and I'm gonna explain that in a little bit. The biggest thing that I really seen that got me into the initial buy was we had equals, and every time I see an equal with more profitability and like more confluences that is aligning, then that's just better for me to get in a trade. Because the end of the day is, you always want to try to find a high probability setups. You know, look for the more confluences you can build off of a setup, the higher chance you have of making profits with that trade. That was kind of my ballpark. Now I'm like, all right, how far could this market go? Because a lot of traders look at like a fair value gap, or also known as an imbalance, which is here. And I've seen that. Me as a trader, one thing I do is I like to take my Fibonacci out, and I like to use it just for particular things. I know a lot of people draw it the wrong way and use it for other different reasons, but I don't trade it how a lot of other Fibonacci traders will trade it. I'm looking at it in the form of Elliott wave, because that's kind of how I've been brought up in trading. My mindset is, where is the most recent swing? low and swing high. And you have this one here and you have this one here. But since I'm looking more in depth, because when I say in depth, I'm like, what is actually the swing high and the swing low on like a smaller scale? I seen that we had to play right here. So this was our swing high and then we still had this as our swing low. So I'm like, all right, let me go ahead and draw my fibs out from here to here. And anything above my 44 equilibrium, like I like to call it, that's a valid level for me. So if I'm seeing fair value gaps, imbalances, or any type of liquidity pool in that area, that is going to be a level that I'm interested in. And then clearly I seen that we had this long wick, because another thing about these wicks is they're also league magnets too. Like, even though a wick, like if you see this wick right here, the reason why this wick happened was either because there was previous liquidity that it needed to grab. And even if you look left, we pretty much had that right here. The other thing about it is it will always come back to that area, because it's like money is still left there. It's almost like a glitch that happened. Like they swept it, they got it, but they also forgot other income or other dollars, basically. Well, since we have this liquidity, now this is like our liquidity trap, our liquidity pool. I'm looking on market to tap in here, but if you use imbalance, this would have been a perfect imbalance area off the 15-minute. The 15-minute time frame is where I like to look for only imbalances, structural strategies like liquidity pools, fair value gaps, institutional levels. And I'm not a big trader on anything important, but like liquidity pools and imbalances is like my only thing. And then also order blocks and supply demand. And that's pretty much what happened. So the moment we got that play, or the moment I seen that, I'm like, all right, I'm going to take advantage of this setup. And I always wait and look for my moves on a 5-minute time frame. The 5-minute time frame is all I look for. I don't go anything lower than that. When it comes to trading oil, I just found it way more profitable for me 5-minute. So since I'd seen everything that I seen, now I'm like, all right, I see we got the engulfing. I see that we have buying power. I see that the sellers are weak and the buyers are strong. We need to grab liquidity, and we need to come in and come into this pool and take some of this money that's been left and fulfill that imbalance level. So my mind is, all right, we get in this trade, and we did. And I'm gonna just jump into 2 minutes just to kind of scale and show you guys a little bit better. But we get in this trade, and we did. And then the candle, or the close, the stop loss, just a couple pips away from the entry. And then a simple 101 trade, 1.3 trade, but this is nothing but like 9 pips basically in a market of Forex, but I still was able to bag what I needed to bag. All right, so we had our entry price at 63,569, and then our exit price at 63,761. And this was a clear buy. So like, yeah, this was 19. I mistake myself. This was 19 pips. So like, this is like my 20 pip rule that I teach about a lot. Like, all you need is 20 pips a day. Like this play right here off of 10 lots. I think we did 10 lots total. Yeah, we bagged 1,900, but after the spreads and everything, it was like, I think 16 or something like that. This is what we bagged, you know what I'm saying? And that was that trade there. And then I posted this on the Discord where I mentioned, like, guys, we're going to be looking for the sell. And you've seen it on the story, kind of like the before and after. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see it. But this is it. Like, I'm like, we selling it once we get this hit. And then once we start to see sellers in the market, this was the play here. I caught it late because I got in last second. This was the play right here, 5-minute. And then we just rode it all the way down. I was even looking to ride it down to I think initially we had it set here because this was the this was the original range, which was from this low and this swing high. And we're still waiting on it to drop. I'm still waiting on this to drop, by the way, because I still see that we need to grab liquidity. It's been forming liquidity, and like, look at this, it formed more liquidity and it swept that right there with that one, boom. And then now we got more liquidity that's just being formed right here, and we need to take that. My mind. And then we got more liquidity down here that I'm just like, all right, yeah, we still dropping even tomorrow. Like, tomorrow's Wednesday. We have inventory news for oil every Wednesdays. Oh, I'm interested in possibly selling this one again if I see it. That's the goal, and that's the trade that, you know, we catch off of this play. So, I mean, yeah, guys, so follow me on Instagram if you want to see more of this. I'm going to be doing a lot of before and afters on there. Also in our community, tradewithsolo.com. You can get in with two options. A free option is you can join with our broker that we use, which is CaseFX, deposit $250 and trade with us. Live streaming, I do, you know, before and after signals. And we also have an AI bot that we're working on right now that's based off of my trading style and trading strategies. And then also, if you don't want that, you got the other option just to pay the monthly subscription. But why the fuck not? Just get in for free. You know, I'm offering this for free. I'm giving so much for gems for free on my Instagram. It's just like you don't want to miss it. So go ahead and tap in. And I'm excited, guys. And I'll see you in my next video. Peace.